Good morning, everybody. How are y'all doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to this week's tarot card reading. Tarot card Papa Benjo just got his treat, so you might hear crunching on that. I decided to do the Crow Tarot today. If you haven't noticed, the Crow Tarot. I'm kind of like questioning that decision right now. I'm sitting here in front of y'all, or technically in front of my phone. But anyway, maybe I should do the Dragon Tarot. But here we are, I got the Crow Tarot. So we're just going to do the Crow Tarot. Maybe next week we can do the Dragon Tarot. If I'm still here. How did you? Anyway, how's it going? Got this, I lit this candle a while ago, so I'm just going to leave it where it is. I'm not going to pick it up. But I got this, Dia de los Muertos candle going. A bakery smelling. It smells really nice. I saged yesterday. Oh, I smudged yesterday. Kind of the same bit kind of ritual. I think it was the last tarot card video, maybe the one before that. Anyway, welcome. Do you like my look? It's a bit no glitter. Absolutely no glitter look today. Which I think is a bit out of my comfort zone. Maybe this week's tarot card reading and drawing can be a little bit centered around getting out of our comfort zones. Anyway, got a kind of a matte look today. Matte as in, I guess you can say dull. It's not really pale, it's matte. It's not really sharp. It's more, I don't want to say soft, but maybe. Anyway. Is the right side, no, the right side of your brain is logic, right? And the left side of your brain is creativity. I just try to, as far as language, I know parts of language are on both sides of your brain. Maybe not. Feel free to enter into the conversation. But yeah, it's kind of something to do. We say matte. What do you mean by matte? Is this a new word? A new age term? Just kidding. But it kind of is, right? Anyway. Got my sketchbook here. I just did finish the sketchbook yesterday. Posted on my Instagram. I don't know if you've checked it out. I have to include the tarot card drawings. And I have a bookshelf right over there, and it's completely filled with all of my sketches. I have every single sketch. I think there's like several that I may have given to my sister or something when I stay over at her house. But other than the very select few, I have all my sketches right there, ready to do something with them. But in the meantime, they are posted on my Instagram if you want to check them out. Anyway, what do you got going on? What's new? It's November. Anything? Any questions, comments, concerns? I try to be a bit proactive and maybe think about what could be questions, comments, and concerns. But it's, people can be very individualized to have individual questions, comments, and concerns. I kind of like this being out of our comfort zones maybe a little bit. So maybe our tarot card reading might focus a little bit on that. I don't know. We'll see. as it unfolds. Yeah. Benja's been doing good. Jesse's been doing good. Indy's been doing good. All the puppies been doing good. Oh, it got hot again. It was a nice cool weather here in San Antonio, Texas, and now it's back up in the mid 80s, upper 80s. So the weather is not ideal. Usually, it's after Halloween here in San Antonio, Texas. It starts feeling like fall weather, Halloween season. But now here's to hoping after I think that's my fingers real. After Thanksgiving, it might get a little bit more ideal weather here in San Antonio, Texas. But yeah, I guess that's it. I guess we can go ahead and get started if there's nothing else to say. There's the intro. This box is a little bit bigger. The tarot cards in the box, that's the tarot box, is a little bit bigger than I got my yellow block over here. Is a little bit bigger than the other boxes, so I think you can still kind of see it over here in the background, right? Yeah, I guess that's it. Here's the fish I've been working on. It's gonna be my sister Kimmy's birthday present. I have not done the back. I usually do the back, at least the border, right? And yeah, still got more to do. It's today, the 15th. Her birthday's in 10 days. It's on the 25th. Anyway. So yeah. Maybe getting out of our comfort zones, maybe not. 1 second. Good, Papa Benjamin. All right. Go ahead and shuffle a little bit. What spread do I want to do today? I feel a little bit like maybe it's y'all's choice to be deciding. I guess a theme and spread. Obviously deck, but I went ahead and just crow deck. Benja. What are you doing? Good puppy. Anyway. Yeah. With that being said, I guess we can go ahead and do the 7-card spread. But I kind of want to do the crow spread. So maybe we should just do that one. I know maybe we did it, maybe last week. Was it last week we did that one? It was, right? The 7 of Swords. Maybe we can do the crow spread again. See if we can. Okay, Benji, I'm going to win. Alright. So go here. 1 second. Okay, yeah, we're back. All right, 6, 7, and we can just go ahead and have the crow face the other way. All right. Do I want a card for our pets? How many do you want a card? Let's look at it. Ooh, the Two of Swords. This is really great. This is not about indecision. That is the Dragon Tarot. This Two of Swords is about I would say it is about being precise and accurate. This Two of Swords. I put it back in the deck. Uh, I I don't mind this. The I like the sword air element, and I certainly don't mind this type of blindfold type situation. Um, Especially if you're like being kind of like a fighter, right? Sometimes uh, it's a bit telling, right? With all of this information um, being displayed, being maybe kept from you, or hidden information, sharing of information, and stuff like that. So the Two of Swords, you might be a bit at a vulnerable position, but I happen to like the symbolism and of a blindfolded crow on top of two swords. Anyway, a very positive reading, our card, I guess. We'll see how this reading turns out to be. Anyway, let's go ahead and start with the heart energy and go from there. The King of Cups. Well, well, well. Very happy to get the King of Cups for our heart energy today. I would say this is rather permanent. I would say, as far as our pets, the Two of Swords go, this is an absolutely great card to get alongside the Two of Swords. This little fish right over here is probably very happy. Um, with this King of Cups crow there. He's a Zen master. He's uh, uh, the complete opposite of being emotionally manipulative. This king could represent the King of Pentacles represents Heart of Gold, which I think is interesting because the Pentacles is the earth element, and this water element is usually the heart element, or heart suit. It's the cups or chalices, and that's the water. But this King of Cups is the emotion. Obviously, the King is something that we aspire to be, potential fulfilled here, which is really great. So I would say our heart energy is really great. That we have the moon here, which again often represents our inner emotions and feelings. Upright, very, very happy. So that's great. Let's see if there's anything more positive to add. Oh, okay. It's in master in the terms of can handle the most tumultuous situations with grace and compassion, which I think is interesting. Um, Considering this might be very much about relationships, right? Um, Upright, this book asks the question of the bless you, Manju. The question of the King of Cups is what emotional triggers seem to pop up regularly that hold back progress. I think that's an interesting question, especially paired with the Two of Swords. Um, it's a bit kind of, I hate to like demean anything or make something less valuable and meaningful than maybe what it is. But I think maybe this uh, that question maybe is a bit generic, a bit kind of a conversational starter, right? Um, Especially considering how much mental health and wellness are a part of um, these generations. I guess that's coupled with technology, right? Advancement with technology is also this mental health awareness type situation and stuff, and it's something that I see like out in culture, like in art and movies and stuff like that. So um, yeah, King of Cups is really great, and I don't want to. I just think that's an interesting question. I think um, this King of Cups might represent a Zen master a little bit in the most tumultuous of situations. Maybe you might, or somebody you know, might fancy themselves as a Zen master, but there hasn't been much tumultuous situations going on. Whether it's, um, again, trying not to judge or anything, but I think that this king status, right, of this cups is very much a part of that. Is having had gone through the experiences of tumultuous situations and stuff like that. And here in our tarot card readings is something that we've kind of emphasized, right? Not kind of shying away from natural emotions and responses such as fear and maybe since it's the cups, I guess maybe something a little bit more like sad, like depression or anything or something. Again, I don't use these terms like in a clinical way. I just use them as like in a conversational type way. So let's go ahead and see, seeing that we have such a powerful heart energy today. I do not think this is a transient energy. This is our very much a constant heart energy, which is great. This might also be an indicator as far as the question that goes along with this card. This also might be an indicator of somebody who kind of seeks that. If there's some problem or situation, this King of Cups is probably going to go towards that to navigate those waters, I guess. So let's see. The present is a platform for the future. The Page of Swords reverse. This is interesting. We this November we seem to have a swords and air issue, which I think is really interesting. The swords, as far as the four different elements, air, fire, water, and earth. I think air is probably one of my favorites, and one of the reasons is because I'm a Gemini, and a Gemini is the air element. One second. Sorry about that. Um, yeah, I think uh, being a Gemini, the air element is one of my favorites. I think I'm a classic Gemini, and so therefore I've always kind of resonated with the air element. Um, and I like the air element because it can quite often be complex, and I'm wondering what the downside really is to that. Um, if you get into the water element, things can get complex and that can get a bit tiring, right? You get complex emotions, and it's kind of energy consuming, I guess. It's kind of a lot, which is, I certainly don't mind, but as far as like if I had to choose a favorite element, it would be the air element. Water can be a bit complicated and heavy, and with the fire, things can happen quickly, I guess, and symbolically speaking, you can get burned. I guess that's the downside to that. So the air element, it's kind of hard for me to see what it is the downside there, right? Um, if things are to add upon themselves and then get more complicated, and what's the uh, how is it that you get hurt there with the air element? But anyway, I guess not understanding something is not good. I don't know. Our present and platform for the future is not so pleasant. If there are any sort of emotional triggers that could pop up, the King of Cups has found them, and is my guess. And here are emotional triggers. Is the reverse Page of Swords. That is, in fact, in our present card position. Upright, this Page of Swords is about an energy storm. And however, reversed is not so good. It's a lack of experience. Um, Jumping into a project without proper research, and therefore wasting energy. So there's our present card today. I guess inefficiency, a waste of time and resources, is what this reversed Page of Swords is. And yeah, let's see what's advice or holding us back. The High Priestess is definitely something that's going to be giving us advice. She's very much full of advice. I think this is interesting. We don't get the Hierophant card. The High Priestess and the Hierophant are coupled, they're together. The High Priestess is the feminine side, and the Hierophant is the masculine side. I think it's very interesting. We get the High Priestess here next to this King of Cups. Um, as far as the High Priestess and the Hierophant are very religious and spiritual cards. They kind of represent the same thing, but like I said, one's feminine, one's masculine. What this High Priestess represents is kind of a mystery, this kind of hidden, things that are hidden and stuff like that. Um, and she has all the elements there with her. She's got the sword, the cup, the wand, and the pentacle symbol on that crescent she has there. Um, the feminine, hidden, the kind of our shadow selves or lunar selves, I think. Um, and very, I guess, creative. I think her element is water. Let me check. yeah, water. Um, she's also represents connection, which I guess to some people might be considered the religious and spiritual aspect to those cards. But yeah, I just think this is very interesting. We get the High Priestess next to this King of Cups here. This High Priestess is definitely going to give the best advice. So if you're looking for good advice, you're going to get it. Um, and as far as this placement card being either advised or something holding us back, considering this Page of Swords card and maybe whatever this downfall is to the air element, I think this High Priestess is also going to be there as kind of a safety net to for whatever the downsides could be to too much of an air element type situation. Um, an over excess or maybe deficiency of air element, considering this is a reversed card, um, and one that takes up a lot of resources. Might not be a lot of resources left here, but not to worry. The High Priestess right here next to our heart energy is good. Is really optimal. A very great combination here. So let's see our hopes or fears. The Eight of Swords. So this is great. Um, this is very interesting. We have tons of air element here. Um, this Eight of Swords. I really like this card. My definition and how I look at this card is a bit different than from the book here. Even though I really do like the explanation, but I think this is a very positive card. This card is about security, and sometimes when you have security, it isn't about a containment or restraint. It's about being able to go farther, right? For example, you have the security in your childhood, right? And you grow and you develop and you're able to do all of these things. You're not hindered by things that maybe you might have been if you didn't have that safety and security there. For an example, but yeah, I really like this Eight of Swords card. It's in our hopes and fears. And so, considering how much emphasis is on our lunar self and shadow self, I think this is really interesting. Um, um, and I think would probably be a really big problem for this reversed Page of Swords, which is in fact in our present. Um, and I like the Eight of Swords. I think it's a little bit different. How does this card different from the Two of Swords? I should have kept it up. I didn't. Anyway, I think this Two of Swords, it could represent like you or your partner, or you and your puppy, or maybe your solar and lunar selves. But this Eight of Swords, I think, can represent this kind of teamwork, kind of working together. It's you and seven other swords there that you have. So there's probably going to be a lot of communication and debate going on with this hopes and fears, which I think is, again, optimal and ideal considering a very good usage of the air element, talking about hopes and fears and this kind of and the element of debate and logic and reason, I think is really helpful. And yeah, but again, the air element is again one of my favorites. So I just I'm happy right now with our tarot card spread that y'all have this week, and I'm able to give for y'all as your tarot card reader. And the good news just keeps on coming and getting better. Our grounding energy is very, very meditative. So this King of Cups here, I think, in coupled with this High Priestess, I think it's very interesting. If there's going to be kind of tumultuousness, kind of experience, and stuff like that, environment, because this upright King of Cups is in Master. Our grounding energy, we're going to have a place where we can separate ourselves from this kind of tumultuous kind of energy environment, and we're going to be able to meditate. Here, this crow is supposed to be kind of like dead, but he's not dead. He's just meditating, but he's just extremely at peace. Um, and I guess able to separate himself from these two crows. I don't know. I've never really figured out the relationship between these crows. But anyway, um, it's a nice window, and windows are great. And as far as an air element, I really don't see what could be the downside, at least right now this week. Um, So, whatever our present is, we have a lot of cards here that will just kind of make us, I guess, kind of immune to whatever this reversed Page of Swords could represent, being a lack and a waste of energy and resources. Um, it's interesting. This is not the pentacle element. Sometimes we think of resources, it might be the earth pentacle element, but here it's the air element. Um, um, somebody may have access to maybe higher learning and higher education, may have a bit different opportunities than maybe we do, but that's okay because the opportunities that we have are just absolutely great opportunities. Like I said, this is an extreme glass half full type situation. Um, and yeah, let's see what our past is. The Six of Wands, we get the fire element, which is great. The fire element is can illuminate a lot, which can also represent intelligence, logic, and wisdom and stuff like that. But this fire element, the Six of Wands here, we have this truth garland. This leader, this crow is the leader of these other crows, and respectfully so. So in the past, we've had a uh, either we were a very much respected leader, or we had a respected leader, a leader that we respected a lot. This is a really positive card, upright. Um, and as far as wasting resources, the complete opposite, right? This leader recognizes all of the characteristics and elements of these crows, and has utilized them in the best way, um, as to not be wasteful. Um, I think it's really interesting. We have this sun element. We have two moons over here, right, with this King of Cups and this High Priestess. But in the past, we have this solar element. The sun is like half the card here. So I think that's really positive. Um, I think that also means there's a lot of individual personalities, unique ways of looking at things. It is the wand, so action, spirituality, and travel got a lot of different unique perspectives. Of yeah, I guess complete personality, which is great as far as uh, being able to bring something to the table. Again, I don't want to make anybody feel bad, and keep in mind we do have this high priestess here for any advice and as something holding us back. So if we're kind of being a bit judgmental of ourselves, so maybe I'm considering our question with this King of Cups. Maybe I'm incomplete here, or something like that. I would say again, we have a very strong and positive past card, and holding us back. This High Priestess, I think she would really help with this. Lunar self, this kind of inner dialogue of maybe not being enough for whatever reason. I think she'll definitely have a lot of advice, and maybe hold us back from going too far down that path. It might be helpful to explore these things, and could be considered a tumultuous environment, but the High Priestess is here to help us not go too far down with the insecurities, and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and see what our external openings or uninvited energy. The Eight of Wands, another eight. This is a burst of energy. This is really great. I personally really like this card, at least for today's reading. I kind of needed a burst of energy. And as far as working with an air element, I can see again how this can be very optimal and advantageous. Having a predominantly air element spread. Um, this Eight of Wands is here to, I guess, clean up the mess of what this Page of Swords maybe could represent. Um, and the present, again, we have such a meditative kind of spread. The present can just mean like, it could mean something that's happening now, or is maybe something that it is your ability to be present in the moment. Um, yeah. So let's, with this last minute and a half, let's go ahead and see what our future and outcome is. The reversed Ten of Cups. This is very interesting. If this was an upright cups, I would have been absolutely happy with it. What a pleasant card, right? This is Ten of Cups, and usually has to do with the family and the home, which is usually something that we see predominantly with, again, the earth and the pentacle element. But today we're getting and receiving this home type with the Ten of Cups. Unfortunately, it is reversed today, which is not the best meaning. Let me go ahead and refresh my memory of what this Ten of Cups means. Disconnect and unable to spend quality times with those you love. A reminder to, reversed is a reminder to take time to reflect on ways that you can create a more harmonious life with those around you. So obviously not the most positive future and outcome. Um, but as far as advice, it seems a lot like advice. Um, I'll still